Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Kitten's Crafts with Crystal Moss. So today I am super excited to say that I have finally received my Magic Cure lamp. It's made by Resin Rockers, the Resin Artist Emporium. They have some wonderful products. Most of my stuff is from them. Their UV resin is some of the best around. And today I thought I would do a little comparison video for you. And it is with the Let's Resin. This is their lamp. And it's their 360 degree cure lamp. So above and below. And it has multi-timer on it. You push that button 3 times. I actually don't recall what the power is, what the amps are. So, or the watts. I just don't remember. So that may be something that someone can look up. But with our Magic Cure lamp here, we have multiple power settings. So you can do anywhere from 6 watts to 48 watts. And then it has multiple, we've got 60, 90, and 120 seconds. So multiple settings there. And so what I'm going to do today is a couple of tests between the two. I'm going to try and make them as equal as possible. So I've got my cancer awareness dangle molds here, and we're going to be putting in some orange cancer awareness clays. These are also from Resin Rockers, and these are just little clay pieces. I love that they were orange because for those who don't know, I started doing this while I was going through treatment for acute myeloid leukemia, and the orange color is the leukemia awareness ribbon. So I was super excited when I found out that that's the color that they had. And then I've got some Californication. It's Pixie for Poxy by Resin Rockers. It's really pretty glitter that they have. So I'm going to put this in the background of my clays. So we've got equal standing on both sides here. I am going to be using the UV resin from Resin Rockers, the hard type. And I do actually have some of Let's Resin's UV resin, clear hard type. So we can even compare those while we're comparing the lamps. So what I'm going to do is I actually have 2 sets of these ribbon dangles, and we'll do a swap. So we will do one with the Let's Resin, using the Let's Resin lamp, and one will be the Resin Rockers UV resin with the Let's Resin lamp. And then I will have the same deal with both resins, and we'll do both in the Magic Cure lamp. So give me a moment and I will set up and be right back. Okay, so what I've done here is I have my Resin Rockers UV hard type is mixed with some of my glitter, and then I have some that's just straight up resin, and then I've got my 2 over here that we're ready to pour, and over here we have the Let's Resin hard type is mixed with my glitter, and then I have some just regular because you need a little bit of that later, and I I have a set over here. So one of the things about doing these is these are fairly simple. You will always see in the background of my videos, I will always have some sort of project going on. I've got Halloween stuff coming, and just little projects I'm working on. There's a pendant with a pink spider and spider web. A pendant that I made by hand because I'm developing a way to sort of put what's in my head out, sort of freeform. And then I have a spider web with some, it's a glittery spider web with a spider. So I always have projects going on in my background. You'll notice them in my videos because I don't have very much space to work with. Anyways, back to this. So these are simple. You just mix your resin with your glitter, and then you're going to put it in the background of your mold. And it's really hard for me to hold this one-handed, but I'm going to give it a shot. And try to get it in there. And for these, I want to do just a layer of the glitter resin, and then we will cure it, and then we'll do a layer of clear with the clay pieces in it, and then a layer of clear on top to smooth it out. And I will also end up putting a layer of the clear, sorry, that is not focused. I will also put a layer of the clear onto the back. So, I mean, these are one of the simpler things to do. My freeform stuff takes a very long time. My Pride Bears, they take a while. Sorry, I'm just trying to get that in there. So I'm gonna, as I'm putting the glitter in here, I'm gonna use my stick, just a toothpick, to kind of smooth it out, make it a thinner layer. Because as I said, we're gonna have different layers here going on. And you'll notice when you do glitter, there's bubbles in there. Just mixing the glitter into the resin gives you bubbles. And then what you got to do is smooth it out. At least what I've learned. You smooth it out, get it into all the. See, I'm running my toothpick along the edges here. Come on, focus. So we're gonna, after I get it all smoothed in there, I run my toothpick along the edges to work the bubbles up to the surface. And then we will blast it with my little torch. I finally ordered a embossing tool. One of those little heaters that you'll see resin artists use. And I watch a lot of videos. My favorite, of course, is Daniel Cooper. He's the whole reason that I really wanted to start doing resin art. But the whole community is wonderful. I started doing this, again, as I said, while I was going through chemotherapy treatments. And it was something to keep my hands busy. But it was also, I like the creativity of it. You can do anything with it. You can make so many different kinds of things. And there's no one way to do any of it. this is, you know, artistic expression. It is, there's just so many variations. And even me myself, because I like different things. So I will make, you know, coasters. I'm actually thinking about starting to do those glitter pens, you know, making your own sparkly little glitter pen. But that may be a little bit down the road. Right now, I really enjoy making jewelry, and anybody who does any kind of creativity knows that, like, jewelry is such a wide variety of things. So you can do anything with this. Okay, so I'm just smoothing out this, trying to bring the resin to the entirety of the mold that I'm working with here. And it is a little harder to move stuff when there's glitter, you know. You've got little pieces trying to get all the way around the mold. There we go. So, but as I said, the resin art community is amazing. There is such a great amount of, even though nobody knows, you know, we're all across the world, really. There's so many differences, but everybody really supports each other, and everybody understands, like, even if you do something similar to the way somebody else does it, or you use their techniques, or nobody gets mad about it, you know? Nobody's like, oh, that's my way. No, this is all artistic expression. This is all just creativity at its best. Okay, so I have that one, and as you saw, it took me a minute there to get that all smoothed out. And then I'm going to do a quick blast here. I kind of like watching the bubbles as they, and most people do not use a torch, okay? You're not really supposed to. I've seen people say, don't use those types of lighters on resin. But if I just do it real quick, it tends to work out just fine. And I don't torch it too badly. But what I'm going to do here is finish. And there's still going to be bubbles after it's cured. These are, I'm kind of rushing these for the video. And also, there's bubbles. I'm not going to be too worried about it, because sometimes the bubbles, like, add a certain element to the glitter. Kind of adds some shiny surface. Look at that. Yeah. So we're going to do this with the other ones, because as I said, that took me a minute to do. So I'm going to stop the video here, just pause the video here, and I'm going to do all 4 of them. Now this is with, this one right here is the Let's Resin version. So I'm going to load both of these up with Let's Resin, both of these up with Resin Rockers, and I'll be back, and then I will take one and flip-flop. Okay. Oh, one more thing. When you're doing UV resin, wear black gloves. That light is dangerous. You do not want your skin underneath that light. It's very important. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have this is my Let's Resin pieces, and these are my Resin Rockers pieces, And I'm just going to take one of these and put it over here, and one of these and put it over there. Careful grabbing these and put it over here. Okay, let me torch these one more time. Just a quick, I actually like watching the bubbles as they disappear. Let's see. Like I said, there's going to be bubbles in there. There just is, especially when you're working with the glitter. So now what I'm going to do is put them into our lamps here. So also, anybody who works with glitter knows you're going to have glitter everywhere. I do clean it up with alcohol wipes. They tend to actually pick it up. Anyways, putting these. Now this lamp from Let's Resin comes with this little tray that goes in there, which is really handy, and it is nice. The one thing about it is once there's cured resin on it, it is a little bit harder to scrape that up without damaging the tray. Although somebody could probably teach me how to do that. Get that cleaner. But yeah, okay, so this is my Resin Rockers. This is my Let's Resin. We're going to put it in there, and I'm going to put it on for 2 minutes. And there we go. Now we're rocking and rolling over there. Okay, and then with my magic cure lamp here, I'm going to it has this magnetic this bottom piece here, the mirror, it's magnetic. It stays underneath there by magnets. You don't have to have it on there, but I do have it on there. And what I'm going to do is I have this piece that fits in there, and I'm going to put my guys onto that. So Resin Rockers, Let's Resin. Try to keep them going that direction. And then we're going to slide this into here. And it does fit in there pretty nicely. I'm going to scooch this front one back a little bit just so it's centered. And then I'm going to put this on. We're going to, let's see. I'm going to put it on, I think, 24 watts. I feel like that. No, we're going to go 36 watts. And we're going to go for 2 minutes. And there we go. Now, this glitter that I'm using, because, wow, that looks bright, right? Okay. This glitter that I'm using is actually a, what do you want to call that? It's not glow in the dark, but it's fluorescent. So that's why, oh, that's going to be curing. Want to keep the, if you're going to end up wanting to use this on another piece, which I will, I always do. I always have a couple of pots of UV. And the one thing about keeping this where the UV light can hit it on this one is I just slightly cured my resin. Oops. So this one is done now. And let's check it out. This is the Let's Resin. This is the Resin Rockers. And I'm going to take a clean stick here and give it a little tap. And it's cured, if you can hear that. That's the Let's Resin. It's cured pretty good. The Resin Rockers feels a little bit harder. It's got a better cure. Yeah, this is softer. And I've noticed that with the Let's Resin is if I have a lot of stuff in it, let's say glitter or color pigments, I do end up with a certain amount of tackiness. There's ways around it though. I've been using it for a long time. I also have another type of resin that I use. It's a much cheaper version and definitely takes a lot more to do things. Alrighty. And now we are done with our magic cure. And let's see what we've got here. Again, nice and cured. Yep, we are good. And I'm now going to scooch these down, just ease of getting to it. So what I'm going to do is pour a little bit. The right hand side is our Let's Resin. So I'm going to take my little pot here. Just gonna put a little bit of clear in here. Okay, and now this one. Okay, and then wipe that off so it doesn't dribble everywhere. I always keep a bunch of paper towels on hand just in case. And we will take our stick, our handy dandy toothpick, and we're just gonna move that out. And I'll show you one, and then I will do the other ones off camera, just for, you know, length of video sake. Take this and just kind of move it around. Make sure that you've got the whole thing done. And then we're going to be putting our clay pieces in here. And I'm probably just going to turn these into earrings. I mean, they're a little big for earrings, but at least that's a personal choice. Ever since I lost my hair, I can't really wear danglies and have them look really good on me. But again, personal preferences there. I normally have pink hair. I've had pink hair for, I had pink hair for 6 years. And then when I got my diagnosis, went through chemo, I lost all my hair. Which is pretty standard operating procedure there. Not everybody loses their hair, but I went through some pretty aggressive chemotherapy treatments. They were heavy duty. And so I did lose my hair. And but before that, I always wore dangly earrings. Always. And I love my dangly earrings. And I'm a silver person. I like silver better than gold. Just my preference. Nothing against gold. Just I don't find that it looks good on me. It's just kind of how that is. Oh, and we've got a hair there. So take that and put it on our paper towel. I'm trying to make sure that this right here doesn't get covered. If it does, it's fine. You can always use like a drill, and if you have like a little hand drill or something like that, you can drill it out. So it's not the end of the world if that gets covered up, but I do try to keep stuff off of there. So now that we've got our clear coat there, I'm gonna open my clay pieces. I'm going to move my little pot of resin out of the way here. So, and then I'll get my tweezers. And we'll just take a few pieces and put them in our resin. Now when you're putting the pieces in, you could get bubbles. Again, not the end of the world with something like this. I mean, if you're trying to do something really fancy, then I can understand not wanting to have bubbles. Like, say you're doing something like this. You don't want bubbles in that. You know, I've got dried flowers and everything in here. So I'm just really careful with this. And I actually use a paintbrush to put on my layers for something like that. But for something like this, I'm not overly worried about bubbles. This is cute. And it doesn't need to be perfect, you know. There we go. I'm just going to try and get this down into the resin a little bit. Put my clay pieces all over. It's pushing the resin around, but that's okay. I find doing the resin art to be one of those, like, it's kind of relaxing, a little cathartic, and I just enjoy it. It's calming. And even, you know, trying to get rid of bubbles, trying to do some of that stuff, like the stuff that takes forever to do, I don't mind. I don't mind taking the time, because I can make something pretty. And keeps me busy. Now for this one, I'm not really placing them in any, like, gotta have it here, gotta have it here. No. We're just putting them in there. There's a bubble. That one I don't want. We'll just get that out of there. Okay. And you'll notice that clay pieces, one of the things about them, there's different sizes. That happens. When they're made, they come out in different sizes. And sometimes if I can, you know, get some of the smaller ones, here, I'm going to trade this one for one of these smaller ones down here. So that I could, nope, that one's still not big enough for underneath that little peg there. I'll take this little one. That's close. So once you have them just kind of situated, and some of them are going to float to the top, some of them are going to sink to the bottom. Like, you can take the time to really get them in there the way you want them. But, I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of these off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've got my Let's Resin going into the Let's Resin lamp. I'm just going to scooch it onto the thing there. And this one. And we'll put it right back there. So now we've got those guys curing. I'm going to put these guys in here. I'm going to put it that way, because that's how I had it last time. And here we go. I'm going to make sure that they're back there far enough. There we go. And then we're going to put this on for the same amount of time. 2 minutes for both lamps. I'm trying to keep this as even as possible, but you know, it's silly to say that they're going to be exact. Oh my goodness. There's stuff on my mat. Okay. So as we do that, since I'm going to make these into earrings, I need my earring hooks. Not these ones. So there's different types. These ones are for hooking onto things like this. So this is one of my swirls. This is epoxy, and I did the Petri effect swirl here. Anyways, these are for putting onto stuff like this. This works for these. If there's already a loop on it, then you can put one of these on. But there are different types. Like, you can't just go out and buy some hooks and be like, oh, I can make jewelry. Make sure you're using the right ones. So I'm going to grab the right ones, and I will be right back as these cure. Okay, so I grabbed the right hooks. These ones are the hooks that I want because they have this pinch bail on them, and that's for pinching around something that already has the hole. Okay, so taking these out of the Let's Resin lamp, and I'll use my get my stick over here. So this is the Let's Resin. We're good and cured here. And the Resin Rockers, definitely a much stiffer cure. Now I will say, whoop, this one ended up, sometimes this happens. If it cures really hard, it's going to curve. So if you can hold it while it's in that last stages, well, I'm probably not going to here, but just for sanity's sake. So this one cured a little slower, so the Let's Resin stayed straight. Resin Rockers does get really good and stiff, which is great. But in these smaller molds like this, that actually creates sort of a a curve because it gets nice and hard. And what you can do is, since I was a little late to the game, I didn't realize it was doing that, but you can hold it down while it's still hot. Be careful not to burn yourself because resin is hot. But when it comes out of the lamp, just hold it down as it stiffens up. And I did it a little late to this, so I could heat it back up and flatten it, but I'm actually not that worried. It's a ribbon. Okay, so got those, and I got these. Let's see here. So we've got our Let's Resin and Resin Rockers. And I don't know if you can hear it in the video. I mean, they're both good and hard, but there is a difference. And I think you would notice it more if you were holding it and feeling it yourself. but there is a slight difference to how it feels. Okay. So, we're going to demold these guys. And you remember I said I was going to do a layer of glitter, a layer of clear with the clay pieces, and then a layer of just clear. I'm still going to do that. I'm not going to do it all on camera because this video is already too long and I still have not learned how to do the editing yet. I will hopefully learn how. I'm going to try. I just don't have a video editor at this point. Okay, so the Let's Resin. And I'm going to put a layer of clear over the top of this. And then I'm going to put a layer of clear over the bottom of this. Now when I do this, you can pour it on or use your stick to kind of like, you put a glob on and you smooth it around to the edges. And that is cathartic. Or you can actually, see I'm taking the, see how there's these little blobs on the edges? You can just go along and like run your nail along them and pull them off. Because that happens when you're doing these sometimes. With the molds, you'll have like little edge pieces if you didn't smooth them away. Or you can take a deburring tool and go along the edges with that. But, okay, as I was saying, I will take a paintbrush with some resin on it. And the last layer, a lot of the time, I will paint it on. Again, I'm not going to do that for this particular video. But that is something that I like to do with, especially the last layer, because you're smoothing it out. And you want it to be nice looking. So sometimes I'll just use a paintbrush to paint it on. Okay. So, and now I'm taking my Resin Rockers out here. I gotta say, I like how the Resin Rockers comes out a little bit better. It just seems, I don't know, it's a feel thing. It's a feel thing. But they're both nice and cured. So our Let's Resin lamp cured both pretty well. This is a pretty glitter. I'm actually going to be using it for some Halloween stuff too. So nice and smooth on the Resin Rockers here. Nice and smooth on the Let's Resin. Also, I will say about Resin Rockers UV resin, there is an attribute that it has. Both of these are low odor. So the Let's Resin almost has no odor. I'm not going to say completely no odor because I have a very sensitive nose and I do smell the resin. I do work in a well-ventilated area. I even have fans for if necessary, but it's well ventilated. I'm away from any kind of fumes or anything like that. The Let's Resin has low to no odor. But the Resin Rockers, it is also low odor, but the odor that it does have is kind of nice. I'm not gonna call it an odor. It's a scent. The Resin Rockers almost smells like pine, which is nice. I myself enjoy the scent of pine, so it's kind of a thing that I like. And that's that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, now we've got our Let's Resin from the Magic Cure lamp. And remember, I only did the 36 watts. I didn't do the full 48 that it can do. And one thing I haven't done yet is in the Magic Cure lamp, it's best to like turn them over and cure the bottom side as well. Even though it's got the mirror on the bottom, it's still a good idea to turn it over and cure the other side. And that's what I'm going to do real quick right now. But it is cured. they're squeaking. They're so nice and smooth. It's a very smooth finish. Actually, I do like it better. I don't know what it is. Do you see how... Okay. This is hard to see, but I'm trying to show you the shine. See how smooth that shine is, even with the bubbles. And that's the Let's Resin. This is the Let's Resin in the Let's Resin lamp. And I admit it does not have as smooth of a finish. Okay. This is the Resin Rockers from the Let's Resin lamp. If I can get it to... Do you see how there's like ripples almost? Interesting. Okay. And the Resin Rockers from the Magic Cure lamp. Oh, some of those ripples are the glitter. But here's the top that doesn't have the glitter. It has the clay kind of... You can see where the clay touches the surface. But look how smooth that is. We'll do the top on this one. They're still... I mean, they're both really good. Let's not... They're both great lamps. The Resin Rockers Magic Cure has more application. There is a ripple in there. Do you see that? Okay. It has weirdness. Anyways, so there is a difference. This has much smoother, kind of like an evenly cured. And I think maybe if I played around with like where this is at, even though it's where it's supposed to be, maybe how close these are to the lights might make a difference. With this one sitting down there, even though I haven't cured the back side of it yet, and I don't know, I guess I can throw it in there and cure it. It's fine. I'm not gonna have you guys sit through that. Anyways, so now we're gonna put the proper ones with the proper ones. I am going to end up re-curing this with the Magic Cure because there's some sort of weirdness going on here. Okay, but that being said, I'm going to... I wish I could show you how I do this. This is going to be interesting. Can I... So what we do for these pinch bills, you just hook it... Oh, can't pick it up. You just hook it through the hole there. Ooh, one-handed. This is tricky. Anybody want to give me a difficulty? Oh ho ho. Can I do this one-handed? No, I cannot. I'll have to eventually get better at the video taking, guys, but what you do is you just pinch it. Like the name implies. You just pinch it onto there. And there you go. Now you've got a nice dangly earring. Now, I'm not gonna have you guys sit through me putting clear on, and so I'm gonna take that back off, and then I will coat them with clear, and I will be done. But so what we've got going on here, we've got two lamps. They both do a good job. It's more about preferences. If you are used to just one power setting, there's no reason not to use this lamp. I've been using it for a while. I do some pretty good work with it. I cannot wait to see all the things I can do with this, though, because we have the variable power, so I can do many different things. Well, that's our comparison video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.